Just 60 kilometers from where the atomic bomb fell on Hiroshima, there is an island that was completely secret to the Imperial Japanese Army, where experiments were conducted to create toxic weapons, which today is also known as Rabbit Island. I'm Naka, this is Japatonic, and join me to discover the dark history of Okunoshima. This building right here was the power plant that supplied electricity to the whole island. It's the largest building I've seen so far. Let's keep exploring. You can tell people have entered because of scratches and writings, but going past this fence is forbidden. For example, this is among the island's least visited places, which is the Toxic Gas Museum, a very small museum where they basically tell you the true story of the whole island. That in 1902 they actually built it as a military fort for air and naval protection, whatever. And then around 1924, that's when they started with the production of toxic weapons. And they mainly highlight that they did a lot of tests on Chinese people, for example. But the place is really designed to raise awareness about the misuse Japan made with all those experiments. And above all, they want to send a message of peace, that what Japan did was wrong and that there should be no chemical weapons in the world. But well, that's fine. Let's say that for kids it's not very interesting, especially with so many bunnies around here. The idea is that they set up the space to raise awareness about chemical weapons use. This, for example, was a place where gas tanks were stored, Lewisite. I don't know what kind of gas it is. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But I've never heard of that type of gas. Obviously a toxic gas that, in total, around 6,600 tons of different toxic gases have been produced on this island. 6,600 tons of gas. And today what we have are bunnies. There's also a former storage facility for toxic gas tanks here. Each tank held 10 tons and 8 tanks fit, totaling 80 tons. Completely black water was also stored down there because this area was for batteries, meaning the base for anti-aircraft or anti-ship cannons, anything like that. Basically anything of military origin. This island began in 1902. Wow. I know big things can be supported here, right? Well, this place was supposed to be another position for missiles or cannons. But it's something you don't understand. How was it set up? All of this? Honestly, I don't understand anything. And also, why did it have that hole up there? And here? For example, this is a monument that was put up in 1985. It was placed by a mayor. And it specifically said that up until that time, there were still civilians who were affected by the problems caused by the release of toxic products. Everything related to the use of chemical weapons. And since there were still survivors, in honor and also in protest for everything that happened, a mayor put up this plaque. This warehouse is gigantic, huge. Also, the production of toxic gases that was done on this island was completely secret. It was so secret that the island, during World War II, did not even appear on official maps. The island itself, the island is completely visible from the Japanese coast. But on official maps, it wasn't there at all. They made it disappear officially. But of course, what happens is that, in a way, it wasn't hard to hide it, at least on maps. Because notice that this area is full of islands. There are islands everywhere and in between. If there was one more or one less island, shown or not, no one would notice. Also, notice that at the beginning of the 20th century, how would you check with the internet if there was an island there or somewhere else? It was all the same to you. But people would take a boat to go work on an island that was right in front of them. Whether it was on maps or not, nobody cared or noticed, but some people did. The civilians who worked in the gas factories on the island didn't know what they were doing. It was something secret. It was a job for the army. Period, and keep quiet. That's it. I mean, we're already on the side of the big part, the big island of Japan, and that's the island of the rabbits. I mean, where the big antenna is. I mean, completely in plain sight, but erased from the maps. When Japan lost World War II in 1945, that's when they started dismantling all the factories that were operating here, or trying to hide everything as best as they could, to the point that the tanks they had left over, they threw them into the sea. And obviously that caused a lot of side effects among the city's population, skin diseases, respiratory problems, all kinds of illnesses. And well, let's see, according to what they say, nowadays everything is clean, like after a couple of years. They realized that what had been done to hide what the island was doing wasn't right. It wasn't good for people, yet they claim everything is totally clean now. Well, at least I want to believe it's true. Normally with those things, well, I'm not going to try to defend the indefensible. People will believe it or not. We rented bicycles. Fortunately, there were some, which will help us get around the island since it's pretty big. By bicycle, it takes half an hour to go all the way around the island, along all its circumferences. But walking, this takes much longer. And also, there are many areas where there isn't much to see, so the bicycle is a very good idea and a great help. Now you can really tell that we're in a high area and we're basically on the other side of the island, and there are still some rabbits. The fact is that while riding the bike, I saw one, and when it saw me passing by, it hid. When I approached, it stayed away, so I left it some food. It's important to leave food for the rabbits since they're not so friendly with tourists. There's a steep cliff here too, huh? Isn't it a little risky for tourists? And look, while there's a dark history on this island, there's another story that might be even more outrageous, and it's very recent. In November 2024, the bodies of 77 little rabbits were found. And the fact is that they all had the same pattern, broken bones. And what happened? About 4 months later, some tourists found another Japanese tourist kicking a rabbit. When they saw what he was doing, they called the police, local security, and those in charge. And the fact is that when they asked him all the questions, the guy said he wanted to see how the rabbits would react to harassment. But let's see. Although he didn't confess that he was the one who caused everything, in the end he did admit that he had started kicking rabbits. Since October 2024, that is, a month before they started finding all the bodies. Well, yes, unfortunately there are horrible people everywhere. This is the island's sanctuary, which, well, apparently 3 years ago, because of a typhoon, nothing remained, yet people still leave coins as offerings. Even though the sanctuary isn't here, I appreciate that people still respect it as a sanctuary. They bow before entering, which I find very nice. But of course, I mean, the fact that a Shinto shrine was placed in this area doesn't seem strange to me either, because since the imperial era of Japan, Shintoism has been greatly reinforced, since it's the native religion of Japan and the emperor is the main figure of the religion. In fact, it's said that when Emperor Meiji became the first ruling emperor after 1,000 years without emperors governing, since there were more Buddhist temples than Shinto ones, he ordered countless Buddhist temples to be demolished so that there would be an equal number of Buddhist and Shinto temples. But anyway, interesting fact. Now I think that's enough dark stories, and let's get to what we came here to do, which is the most important thing of all. Feed the bunnies. Let's go. Hello, sir. This one is a little skinny, huh? Hello. There are a lot of bunnies that let you pet them. Ah, look, this one lets you pet it, see? When they let you pet them. They're the smallest ones. Their fur is super soft. It feels really nice to pet them like a baby kitten. I don't know how to describe how soft their fur is. It's the first time in my life that I've touched a rabbit. Honestly, I've never interacted with rabbits before. They're so cute, they make you want to take them home. Now, the reason why there are so many rabbits on the island is kind of a mystery. Because on one hand, it's said that the rabbits, obviously, it's already widely known that they were used a lot for chemical experiments, and it's said that they used them as test animals. And after the war ended, they released them. Now, the other theory, which is the one people say they want to believe, is that some students in the years 70s brought 9 rabbits and released them on the island, and they reproduced. And since there are no natural predators, they're still there. But anyway, beyond all that, it doesn't matter. Nowadays, the reality is that the island is very beautiful, very touristy, and we're also in a visitor center that, well, is nice. That makes it so touristy that it takes away that authentic historical touch, right? But let's see, there's more to see. There are some rabbits that let you pet them, others that don't. This one doesn't let you, this one does, this one too. They're cute. You let us pet you, right? He doesn't, but that's fine. We'll feed him anyway before the ferry arrives. It's the only place selling rabbit food. A small bag costs 100 yen, or about 60 cents. We bought about 5 bags, and it's something that the rabbits see people walking and immediately come over to ask for food. Let's see. Does this one want to pull on the bag? They're super cute. It's really relaxing to see their little faces when they eat. Subtitles by the Amara community. That's good. Fortunately, many ferries and people come to the island. The place is super touristy, to the point that I see areas for barbecues, grills, I see tents, there's a hotel, there's a restaurant. In other words, the place is very touristy. Let's see, that one who's really relaxed, lying down, let's give him some, leave him some food. Maybe he's not hungry, but well, oh no, yes, if it's for food. I'll get up for a bit. It's all good. All right, let's go. Okay, let's see. It's said that there are about 500 rabbits on the island. Obviously, there's no official count, but it's also said that before the pandemic, there were about 1,000 rabbits. But of course, because of the pandemic, tourism dropped a lot. And well, with less food available, the number of rabbits went down. No, because basically the rabbits are completely fed by tourism. I don't know if there are people in charge of feeding them when there's little tourism, I don't know. Look, a baby bunny, it's so tiny, look how cute. Oh, this one is afraid of people. This one still doesn't know how to trust people. The adults, yes, give me, do you have something for me? Yes, sir, there for you. Look, this little one lets you touch him. The little one lets you touch. Well, and the hotel that's on the island is pretty big, and it has a cafe, it has this restaurant, and oh, it has a lot of rice. This is a dish made entirely of octopus. Octopus with rice, fried octopus, miso soup, pickles, and a little bit of sashimi and beer. I was about to say how neglected the grass looks. It's kind of weird, but no, of course the rabbits, where the grass is, here there are holes. I mean, from what I see, they allowed them to ruin the grass without issue. Well, it's their island, isn't it? Now there's a bus that goes from the hotel to the ferry terminal, which is free, or if not, it's a kilometer on foot. But we're already pretty tired. And the fact is that the whole time it goes super slowly because it has to keep dodging rabbits. Also, it kind of warns that there may be sudden stops. Still, this is moving at 10 kilometers per hour. Definitely the cutest and most beautiful island, and at the same time the shadiest one I've ever visited in my life. And the good thing is that luckily the rabbits look pretty healthy. They must be more used to wildlife than, for example, cats. Because on the cat island, you could see that some of them were a little sick. The good thing is this place gets far more visitors than the cat island. For example, because it's along the bullet train detour, it's doable, it's not an impossible route. Getting to this island, if you search for Okunoshima Rabbit Island on Google Maps, it shows up and it's pretty easy to access the place. But anyway, we're almost there. See you next time. Greetings to you, your family, your pet, and that annoying neighbor. Bye.